My name is Richard Shepherd, and I was recently introduced to the work of the Royal Humane Society by some friends who are life governors. I've been amazed by the very brave acts of ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances, and well done to the Royal Humane Society for providing an award system that honours these very brave people. I'm delighted to share with you a story of great bravery from 1838, which the Royal Humane Society recognised with an award. To set the wider context, Queen Victoria has just ascended to the throne. Isambard Kingdom Brunel's paddle steamer had made a transatlantic crossing in 15 days, and the Battle of Navarino, only 11 years earlier, was the last to be fought by the Royal Navy entirely with sailing ships. This story appeals to me because I've always had a fascination for lighthouses. Grace Darling was born on the 24th of November 1815 in her grandfather's house in Northumberland. She was the seventh of 9 children, born to William and Thomasin Darling, and when only a few weeks old, she was taken to live on Brownsman's Island, one of the Farne Islands, in a small cottage attached to the lighthouse. Her father ran the lighthouse, built in 1795 for Trinity House. The accommodation was basic, and the lighthouse was not located in a good place to guide shipping to safety. So in 1826, the family moved to the newly constructed lighthouse on Longstone Island. Longstone Lighthouse had better accommodation, but the island itself was slightly less hospitable. So William would row back to Brownsman to gather vegetables from their former garden and to feed the animals. The family spent most of their time on the ground floor of the lighthouse, which consisted of a large room heated by a wood-burning stove. The room was their living room, dining room and kitchen all in one, and had a spiral staircase leading to 3 bedrooms above, and the light at the top of the tower. On the night of the raging storm, Grace, only 22, was safely ensconced in the lighthouse with her family. The lighthouse would have experienced a battering from the huge waves of the storm, so you can imagine the situation out on the rocks in the dark, with the paddle steamer Forfarshire bound for Hull, breaking up around the passengers and crew. By daybreak, the family could just make out the wreck, but not until it was fully light could they see the survivors on Big Harker Rock, clinging to the forepart of the hull, which was all that remained of the Forfarshire. The weather conditions were abysmal, and it was considered unlikely the lifeboat from Sea Houses would be able to launch. Even William himself had some doubts, but there was no other possible way of helping the few survivors they could see still clinging to what remained of their ship. So he and his daughter prepared to set out in their Coble to do what they could to rescue those survivors. Now, the Northumberland Coble, by the way, is a 4-man rowing boat at 21 feet or 6.4 metres long. Taking the long route that kept to the lee side of the islands, a distance of nearly a mile, Grace Darling kept the Coble steady in the water while her father helped 4 men and the lone surviving woman, Sarah Dawson, into the boat. Although she survived the sinking, Mrs. Dawson had lost her 2 young children, James, 7, and Matilda, 5, during the night. Grace Darling remained at the lighthouse while William and 3 of the rescued crew members rowed back and recovered 4 more survivors. And they all had to stay there for 3 days because the weather was so bad they couldn't be taken off. As news of her role of the rescue reached the public, her combination of bravery and simple virtue set her out as exemplary and led to an uneasy role as the nation's heroine. Grace Darling was the first woman and the first civilian to be awarded the Royal Humane Society's Gold Medal in 1838 at the age of 23. Thank you for listening. I'm sure you'll agree that it was an incredible act of bravery, and the rescuers were highly deserving of the gold medals they subsequently received. This is just one of thousands of stories of bravery recognised by the Royal Humane Society over the years. Now, the Society is encouraging people to become one of their governors. Now, for just £100 in 2024, you'll be invited to attend a variety of Society events, such as their annual General Court, where you'll see awardees receive their medals and hear their amazing stories. You'll also get a 250th anniversary certificate and an invitation to a special celebration at St Paul's Cathedral in September. If you'd like to find out more about the Society and their work, do visit their website and support them however you can in their 250th year. Thank you.